The Enchanted Garden of Whimsy. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills, lived a curious girl named Elena, who loved exploring every nook and cranny she could find in her tiny world. One day, Elena stumbled upon an old, overgrown garden hidden behind a crumbling stone wall, the vines thick with years of neglect, but something about it felt oddly inviting. As she pushed aside the tangled ivy, a soft breeze whispered her name, carrying the scent of flowers long forgotten and promising secrets waiting to be uncovered. Elena stepped into the garden, her eyes widening as she saw flowers in every color imaginable, though they seemed wilted and sad, as if yearning for something lost. "Who dares enter the Enchanted Garden of Whimsy?" a tiny voice demanded, and Elena looked down to see a grumpy garden gnome staring up at her with a frown. "I'm Elena," she said kindly, kneeling down to the gnome's level. "I didn't mean to intrude, but this place looked like it needed some care." The gnome, whose name was Pip, scratched his head thoughtfully. "Well, it's been ages since anyone has tended to this garden, and it shows." "The garden is magical," Pip explained, "but its magic has faded because it hasn't been nurtured, and the creatures here have grown weak and restless." Elena felt a surge of determination. "I'll help bring the garden back to life, and maybe its magic will return, too." Pip's eyes twinkled with hope. "If you're willing to help, then we'd better start with the flower patch. Those flowers have a lot to say." As they approached the patch, Elena heard the flowers murmuring in soft voices, their petals drooping as if weighed down by a heavy burden. "The sun has forgotten us," one flower whimpered, its once vibrant pink petals now pale and lackluster. "We've lost our bloom. Perhaps if we clear away the weeds and give you water, you'll regain your strength," Elena suggested, her heart full of empathy for the forlorn flowers. With Pip's help, Elena spent the afternoon pulling weeds, tilling the soil, and gently watering the flowers, who began to perk up immediately. As the last drop of water fell, the flowers bloomed in a burst of color, their voices rising in a joyful chorus of gratitude and newfound energy. "Thank you, dear girl," said Blossom, a tall sunflower with golden petals. "You've restored our spirit, and in return, we'll share our wisdom." Blossom told Elena about the different sections of the garden, each with its own unique magic, but all were suffering from neglect like the flower patch. "You must venture to the glimmering pond next," Blossom advised. "Its waters have grown murky, and the creatures within are lost without its clarity." Pip led Elena through a maze of twisting vines and tall grasses until they reached the glimmering pond, which looked anything but glimmering. The water was dark and still, a thick layer of algae covering its surface, and Elena could sense the sadness radiating from the once beautiful pond. "The pond's magic lies in its reflection," Pip explained, "but without clear water, the creatures of the pond have forgotten their true forms." Elena knelt by the water's edge, her reflection barely visible. "We'll clean the pond, and maybe its magic will return, just like the flower patch." Together, they skimmed the pond, removing the algae and debris, while the water slowly began to regain its crystal-clear luster. As the last bit of algae was cleared, the water shimmered with light, and the creatures within, frogs, fish, and water sprites, emerged, their forms renewed. "We remember who we are," croaked a jubilant frog, his green skin glistening in the sunlight. "Thank you for giving us back our home." Elena smiled, pleased to see the pond creatures thriving again, but Pip reminded her that the garden was still far from fully restored. "The enchanted forest is next," Pip said. "The trees have lost their whispers, and without them, the forest has fallen silent and cold." They ventured into the enchanted forest, where the towering trees stood eerily still, their once vibrant leaves now brittle and brown. "The trees used to sing with the wind," Pip said, his voice hushed, "but now they are silent, their roots forgotten how to drink from the earth's magic." Elena placed her hands on the trunk of an ancient tree named Willow, hoping to feel some sign of life within, but all she felt was a deep sadness. "The roots need to reconnect with the earth's magic," Willow's faint voice whispered. "Only then will we remember our song." With renewed determination, Elena dug around the base of Willow, loosening the soil and guiding the roots back into the earth's nourishing embrace. Slowly, the trees began to regain their vitality, their leaves turning green once more, and a soft melody filled the air as the wind carried their song. "Our song has returned," Willow said, her voice now strong and clear. "Thank you for reminding us of our connection to the earth." The forest came alive with the sound of rustling leaves and the chatter of animals returning to their homes, grateful for the restoration of their world. "The garden is nearly restored," Pip said with a smile, "but one last challenge remains, the heart of the garden, where all magic converges." They made their way to the center of the garden, where an ancient stone pedestal stood, surrounded by a circle of vibrant flowers and glowing moss. "This is the heart of the garden," Pip said solemnly, "but its light has dimmed, and without it, the garden's magic cannot be fully revived." Elena approached the pedestal, feeling the weight of the garden's fate resting on her shoulders. "What must I do to restore the heart's light?" "The heart needs a special seed to reignite its magic," Pip explained, "a seed filled with love, care, and the promise of life." Blossom stepped forward, offering a tiny, golden seed. "This is the seed you need, but it requires your heart's purest intention to take root." Elena held the seed close, her thoughts filled with love for the garden and a deep desire to see it flourish once more. She placed the seed on the pedestal, and as it touched the stone, a warm light began to radiate from the heart, spreading throughout the garden. The light grew brighter, enveloping the garden in a magical glow, and Elena watched in awe as every flower, tree, and creature shimmered with renewed life. "The garden is whole again," Pip said, tears of joy in his eyes, "and it's all thanks to you, Elena, for bringing back the magic." The magical creatures gathered around Elena, their voices rising in a harmonious song of gratitude, celebrating the garden's restoration. "You have done what no one else could," Willow said, her branches swaying in the wind. "You have brought the garden back to life." Blossom presented Elena with a beautiful flower crown. "As a token of our gratitude, we crown you the guardian of the Enchanted Garden." Elena accepted the crown, her heart swelling with pride and joy. "I will cherish this garden and protect its magic for as long as I live." The villagers soon noticed the garden's transformation, its beauty and magic spreading to every corner of the village, bringing joy to all. People from near and far came to visit the garden, marveling at its wonders and feeling the warmth of its magic in their hearts. Elena spent every day tending to the garden, ensuring that it remained a place of wonder and enchantment for all who entered. The magical creatures became her closest friends, each day filled with new adventures and discoveries within the ever-changing garden. The garden flourished under Elena's care, its magic growing stronger with each passing season, bringing life and happiness to the village. As a final gift, Blossom gave Elena a special seed, one that would grow into a new garden whenever it was planted with love and care. Elena planted the seed in a secret corner of the garden, watching as it sprouted into a new section, filled with even more wonders and mysteries. The Enchanted Garden of Whimsy became a place of legend, its magic passed down through generations, thanks to Elena's love and dedication. Elena grew up, but she never forgot the garden, returning every day to tend to it, ensuring its magic would last forever. And so, the Enchanted Garden of Whimsy thrived, a testament to the power of love, care, and the belief in the magic that exists all around us.